Alongside Katie Wyndham, I am Austin Hannon. This is Bama Central's Just a Minute. Katie, last night, head coach Nick Saban talked about the transfer portal a little bit. And out of the 21 guys that have entered the portal since the beginning of last year, he mentioned that there was just one guy that he wished was still on the team this season, and kind of went on a little bit of a tangent about it. There was a lot of talk in the media room about it. Obviously, there was a lot of talk on social media about it when it got out there. I'm curious to hear who you think that player was.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that he would single out just one person, even though I guess I can't really say single out because obviously he didn't mention them by name. But with how many guys enter the portal now, that there is just one that he wishes would have stuck around. And based on, the question was kind of wide receiver related. So because of that, maybe that got his brain thinking in the direction of the wide receiver room they have, and maybe a wide receiver he wished they still had. So I think maybe he was talking about Aaron Anderson, a highly rated freshman last year that had a lot of talent, but that didn't maybe necessarily get things going his freshman year and didn't get a lot of playing time, which isn't an indictment on talent at Alabama because it's tough to work your way up the depth chart. And so I think he's probably a guy that Alabama wishes would have stayed in the program and continued to develop and continue to get better and maybe played a bigger role down the line. Of course, there are guys that contribute and play big as a freshman. Think, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, but there's also guys that come along later on. And so I think he's a guy that they obviously recruited him for a reason and wish he would have stuck around. I don't think Saban's blaming anyone for leaving Alabama. There's multiple reasons guys enter the portal. Aaron Anderson went closer to home at LSU. He's from Louisiana, and so that could have been part of it for him. But I think that may have been who Saban was talking about.
Yeah, Anderson, one of the top players at a high school in Louisiana. It's interesting you said receiver, and especially with the way he's been talking about, drops this offseason and consistency at wide receiver, you would think that maybe that is a position that he would like a little bit more depth at. Obviously, Alabama also lost JoJo Earl. I think that's a name that a lot of people kind of were interested in hearing about. He kind of looks pretty good in the time he got last year in his second year in Tuscaloosa. Obviously, they lost Trayshawn Holden as well, who was a little bit underwhelming during his career at Alabama, but was still a player that contributed when he was in the game. So we won't know probably. He probably won't let us know on what that player exactly he's talking about. But that's the Nick Saban fashion, and we'll hear more from him next week. So for Katie Wyndham, I'm Austin Hannon. This has been Bama Central's Just a Minute. Thanks for watching.